Yes. Testing, testing. Oh, there we go. Yay. Okay, so let's relax our minds and our bodies and breathe in the power of love. It's who we are. Breathe in the power of oneness. We are one. We commit to speaking only kindness and imparting only love. We have gratitude for each person here and those absent who create this community founded on unity, the one presence and one power expressing in such diverse ways. We have gratitude for this facility, for these gardens, and for the heart connections made here. We celebrate the inner work that happens here, the transformations, the joy, the music, the dancing, the fun, the food, the opportunities, and learning to love ourselves and one another more deeply. As we gather today, we lean into our hearts to hear Spirit's voice and to become all that we can be in Christ consciousness together. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Patty. Does everybody have an agenda? Okay, any extra agendas? Becky needs an agenda. Nancy. Okay, I would like to open the meeting also with a roll call. I had that piece of paper. All right, I'm going to do it by memory. I'm going to call our board members, our minister, and then I'll call the members who are eligible to vote because we have to establish today a quorum to be able to vote on the item that's on the agenda for voting. So, President here, I'm standing up. If you will stand, I would like for everybody to see also Vice President Janet Loving Pitts, Treasurer Myra Faderspiel, Senior Minister Patty Bittner, and, pardon, I'm getting to you, most important part. Reverend Lisa Marks, Secretary. I should have had my list with me. Okay, and then I know on live stream we have Joanne Grayson. I know Jim Birch is possibly online. And I would like to call upon our current trustees with Tom Lehman. If you'd stand, please. And Jane Gordon, I know, is online if she can get a signal in the mountains of Puerto Rico. So, and now, the members that are eligible to vote, that means you've taken your class with Reverend Patty or Reverend Joyce, whenever that was, and you've also been installed and supported by the congregation. If you would please stand so we can count. Okay, let's see. 1, 2. All right, I have 35, if anybody else is counting. Okay, so we have 37. Okay, 37. For the record, 37, we do have a quorum established. Well, this is our first Unity and Community meeting after our annual meeting of this year. And one of the things that I am bringing to our Unity and Community meeting is some things that we do in our board meeting. Reverend Patty's already paved the way with some of her thoughts and her prayers. In your agenda, you will see what I call a heart agreement. And I would like for us to say this out loud together. Together, to express kindness, compassion, love, listen with curiosity, and together create a safe place for all of us to be heard and to be valued for the gifts we bring to Unity Church of Bon Air. We also, the board, every meeting, say our mission statement. And I thought, well, maybe some of us really don't recognize this as our mission statement, even though Reverend Patty speaks to it every Sunday. And if you see there, if we can speak this together, to live and express unconditional love and acceptance. And then our affirmation statement, if we can say together. Unity of Bon Air and God in me are a divine magnet, mightily attracting abundant prosperity, health, wealth, love, and joy to Unity of Bon Air and all who come here right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, God. Amen. The reason that I brought this to our Unity in Community meeting is that we can hear each other's voices raised in similar, in-kind thoughts from our hearts. I think that's really important. For this is our time together. It's our time for the board members, for the trustees, for Reverend Patty, and for our congregation to be together, to give information, to share information, and to ask questions. So that's part of my job, is to help to create, and the board's job to help create a safe environment for all of us to be able to express and to be heard. As you well know, going on to the next agenda item, a couple of months ago, our trustee, Rusty Rothrock, submitted his resignation from that part of his life. I'm sure we will call him Trustee Emeritus at some point. And so what our job was to go to our policy and procedures and bylaws and look at, okay, what do we need to do next? It is clear, because we live in Virginia, we are a commonwealth, and the Code of Virginia requires that religious organizations, nonprofit organizations, have trustees to do some of the major financial operations, and Myra can help me out on this one. To sign our mortgage rates, to sign when we borrow money, to oversee, the fiduciary responsibilities of the board. Now, our board trustees, historically, they are non-voting. They do not vote on any decisions that are made. However, our history on the board is our trustees are very present at our board meeting, and they give great counsel and great wisdom to anything that we are doing on the board to bring to you all, the congregation. The other interesting thing is our policies and procedures do not have a section that says this is what you do in terms of selecting a trustee. So we, the board, in meeting, thought about it a great deal, and our person that we're bringing to you as trustee and asking for your vote of acceptance is Howard Green. Now, I want to add a personal note about Howard, and it's nothing that y'all don't know in your heart and you haven't seen every day that he has been a part of this church. I would say Howard is heart and foundation of Unity Church of Bon Air. He is open-hearted. He truly heard the call from Spirit to serve. He serves in every possible way, from mowing the grass, from picking up whatever might be in the parking lot, to being a board member, to being president of the board, to being treasurer of the board, and to show up in love. He truly does, and he is welcoming. In fact, he talked me years ago into being interested in being on the board, so he's very persuasive. And as we all know, he is Susan Green's better half. Even though I think Howard, even though I think Howard would say Susan is his better half. So I nay. Howard, if you'd like to say a few words, I would like to invite you.
Let me just say I'm honored the board asked me to be trustee after Rusty resigned. I have so much respect for Rusty and Tom and Jane and what they've done over the years, and Ellie Gill before that. They were the heart of this church as we begin to grow, and I hope to honor that tradition. So I appreciate it, and if you vote for me, I'll serve you as best I can. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard. Circuit Court, exactly. Yes, it's a very formal procedure. And then after that is done, oh yeah, that's right. We got to go to the mic. Well, what Myra just asked or wanted to relay is that after our vote of acceptance, then we will be going with the paperwork to the circuit court, the head of the circuit court, for formalization, and then it goes on to the wherever in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So this is an interim thing because the next step after that is we're going to have to write policy and procedure for this particular appointing and anointing of trustee. So I am going to call for the vote of acceptance. All those in favor, raise your hand. Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Vote of acceptance is unanimous. Madam Secretary, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, next I would like to invite our senior minister, Reverend Patty Bittner. I know I'm being all formal, but hey, for her, Reverend Patty's minister's report.
I loved it last Sunday when Amy was here, and she said, you know, you start taking classes, you do this, you do that, and then like Howard, you're running the place. She'd only been here an hour and saw all his efforts. Okay, so here's my report. It's been a busy summer. Members are coming and going. People are happily using the directories and connecting. We had spirit groups. We had a 12 Powers class. We had a divine potluck. We had incredible music and more to come with our August Thursday concert series. I've been to the Unity Yearly Conference. The board held its retreat at Unity of Richmond with Reverend Pat Bessie via live stream. The garden team has had to water daily to keep up with this recent heat wave. They have really done an amazing job. Our NGU group is meeting weekly at 12:15. Our YFM, well, you saw this morning, in 3 weeks we had 27 kids, and not one of them was a repeat. So we're having lots of stuff going on with young people. We have sent in a report to Unity Earth Care team to receive a Green Star Award for having green projects like the Solar Flower Children's Gardens, a wildlife refuge, a well using mugs for coffee, using real forks versus plastic ones, and recycling. So we're waiting to hear back from them. We have been serving our local community. We collected oodles of food for the food bank. I forgot the number, but I think it was 400 and some odd pounds. Backpacks and school supplies will be given to crossover patients in 2 weeks, and a habitat building event on Buford Road will happen in a month. Our men and CARES team have tirelessly helped Captain Tom get situated in a new place and clean out his home. Support has been provided to Laura and Billy, and still is, as hospice supports Billy. Our CARES team will be preparing and providing food for Michael's celebration of life this month. We hosted Bev's Celebration of Life, which is one of Myra's family members, over a week ago. And this family isn't a part of Bon Air, but my belief is, what good are you if you have somebody grieving and you can't help them out, right? So they were very appreciative and felt the love in this place. All of this is life-enhancing ministry. We've replaced a microwave and had both ovens serviced recently. A new sump pump was purchased this week for an area outside. Our landscaping group is cutting and trimming to our Men's Delight. And the parking lot needed some serious work, and we have started that ceiling, and you'll hear more about that in a few minutes. As we head into fall, we are looking forward to a great fall festival and many spirit groups. Thank you for being an essential part of bearing love in our world. You make a difference. I am honored to work with you. The end.
Not quite certain how to follow that. I'm Myra Faderspiel. I'm the treasurer. I've really had to do some serious thinking about how to approach my report. And I want to say, I think it was like 14 years ago, we started the Making More Room for God campaign. Is that right, Howard? About 14? And there were people then who said, there is no way you're going to raise enough money to build a brand new church. And I knew not only in my heart, but every cell in my body, we were going to do it. And we did it, and this is what we got. When we work on the budget, we look at past years, we look at trends, and then I go in and shave everything back, because I'd much rather us exceed income than not meet it. Unfortunately, this year, our income is way down. And the bulk of our income is our love offerings, our Sunday love offerings and online giving. From January 1 through June 30th, we don't have the July report yet. We are under projected budget of $18,700. That's roughly $3,000 a month we're not bringing in. We are way under what we brought in last year for the same period. I'm not certain why. I think back to our daily word today, and I'm wondering if all the uncertainty and the chaos just out there has maybe affected things for all of us. But I know in my heart and every cell of my being, we're going to increase. We're going to make up all of that and then some. One thing that has helped us not go any further than the $3,000 a month is our projection for expenses has been below what we projected. But we're now looking at the parking lot needs work. That was not put in the budget. We have the fountain that we don't quite know yet what the problem is. Jim Birch is heading that up. He's got a contractor coming in, so hopefully soon we'll know what it is. That's not in the budget. We, next year, because churches are considered commercial, we have to renew our mortgage. Interest rates aren't anywhere as low as they were when we took this mortgage out, but I'm affirming it's going to be low. It's not going to be what the bankers are telling me right now. And there are a lot of other things that keep happening. Well, think about it. This building's over 12 years old. So we need everybody Go out there if you have friends that are planning to get married. Tell them to come down and visit us. Or if you know somebody that wants to do a really big splash for a birthday party, send them our way. We need the events. And what prettier place than our gardens to have an event, or in New Rock. One of the things that makes us different from most churches is the fact that you don't have to be a member here. We'll let you have a wedding. Most churches, you have to be a member of that church to have your wedding. So I see things not only prospering, but prospering to the point that we have an overflow of income because of the overflow we have here of love. We did this year, well, just recently, we renewed our CD. We kept a really good rate on that. And we also gave our staff members a small, but still gave them a cost of living increase, which we haven't done in years. So that's kind of my report. After a board meeting, we post our balance sheet on the bulletin board there in the hall. It seems to disappear all the time. I don't know why, but we do post it. So it is the balance sheet. Okay?
The next item is introduction of our fundraising, and Myra has done a great job paving the way to the opportunities for us to financially provide more money to support, like she said, the fountain, the HVAC system, the parking lot, and what Reverend Patty's vision is at this point is to develop like an overall campaign. And I'm going to let you introduce that, Reverend Patty. This is your baby, your dream here.
Okay. So instead of just keep coming and saying, now we need to fix this, now we need to fix that, we're establishing a fund for all the fix-it things from a building that's aging. And we've titled it TLC. It's all letters, TLC, then the letter for UCBA. So we're going to take exquisite care of our facility. This is over a $2 million facility in properties, and we want everything running well and looking beautiful, and it's time for some TLC. So the idea is we'll have one big pot. We'll be letting you know we're going to be working on this thing, and you can, if you want to earmark your check for this thing, we're just warning you ahead of time that when the money exceeds what we needed for that thing, it's going in the next pot. So we're just going to keep holding into the one pot. So we're just going to keep holding that prosperity reigns, that each one of us feel this way about this place. That this place is what brings us life, is what it energizes the love center within us, creates a Christ consciousness, and continues to expand our influence not only in the community, but with one another, and makes a huge difference.
Some of you may notice on a smaller parking lot, or the parking lot to that side of our big parking lot, that we are beginning to have the parking lots paved and marked. So when that is complete, we will launch a campaign to pave the way. And what we're asking is, or suggesting, or inviting you is, if you would like to sponsor one of the parking spots, which would help us to reach our $10,000 goal of raising money for the parking lot. Now, we had plans to show the parking lot, which we'll have outside when you leave, so you can see it. There's still some things going on that need to be tended to, and before it's all completed, they still have the big parking lot to do. Howard has been our contract person to which the company came right away. We thought it was going to be, a couple of weeks from now, but the company came right away, so they've gotten started. And we are asking or suggesting what, Myra, per slot? $60 per slot. So, any questions about that? Gloria, if you'd go to the...
issue of how to pay for the paving of our parking lot. Information. One of the things, compassion, grateful. It's just that when we drive in, or a person that is coming here new drive in, they see, wow, the affirmation is there. So we chart. Can't hear. Oh. That was one of our fundraisers. That really what unity is. That's all I want to say.
That is a fantastic idea. That is a fantastic idea. Oh, how did y'all put it on the parking space? Oh, on the ground. Okay. Got you. Okay, let her on the ground. Okay. Well, there'll be more to come about that. Reverend Patty, you have a question? Okay, we didn't get a chance to talk to you before the meeting, so I'll further more on that. Okay. Our next item on the agenda is we want to bring forward information on our columbarium. Reverend Patty, I think you wanted to say a few words up front before we moved forward on that.
So the board received a report from Rusty about what he has been working on in terms of ideas for putting a columbarium together. And he has not formally submitted this report to the board. He's just letting us know what he's working on. So we're not actually this hasn't come to the board. The board hasn't voted on it. It's come to the board as information. So we're sharing information with you. We aren't going to be voting, yes, we're doing it, no, we're not doing it. We're just, I don't know, it was over a year ago when we had a congregational meeting where we started talking about all this. So we're just bringing you up to speed to what is possible. And the report it's text and pictures. It's like 24, 25 pages. I have a clipboard with me and one of them printed out. And I'll put that outside the door after the service. If you want an email of this document, we would love to send that to you. And I'm going to let... So a columbarium is a structure that houses niches that you can put ashes in, and so it's a permanent structure for a loved one's ashes.
Before we have questions and about this agenda item, I know some people have come to me and would like to speak. I would just like to trip back to July of 2023 when this project started. I know, well, I got this from Marcy. Marcy Murphy, Chuck, and Lisa and Becky Maines started working on this project. And then I know it kind of blended into working with the garden team. And I would like for the people who have worked on the very beginning group and then the garden team that kind of worked into the joyful team, if they would stand so we can recognize people that put many, many hours on this. Okay. And so we would, there's some history to this, and this is where I think it's very important as a board, minister, and congregation that we allow for people to bring their information, their ideas, or, their opinions about things, and that we give them the space, we give each other the space to be able to speak. So anybody that would like to come to the microphone to speak about this item, I am inviting you now.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I wrote down a couple thoughts. And actually, I think the board is somewhat mindful of what I've said here. But basically, the Joyful Committee was formed as an exploring body to learn what other churches were doing for their congregations, for the people that are transitioning. It was an outgrowth of the survey that we had, I think, back in 2023. Or it might even been before that. But at that point, there was no real clear consensus as to what the congregation really wanted. So then the Joyful Committee was kind of formed to do some exploration, see what other churches were doing, see what's going on, see what it could look like and how it could dovetail with our gardens here. So many of the people on the committee, and I'll mention them: Becky Maines, Nadine Oswald, Zita Correll, Amanda Bolton, and myself were part of that original committee. And in addition to looking at the columbarium, we were also exploring what to do as far as expanding the playground for the Montessori school. We did, come up with some ideas on that, and then basically Amanda didn't really want to do a trail or anything like that, so we ended up with the climbing structure that we have out there. So the classroom benches and all that were kind of reimagined, fixed up, and are now throughout the garden there. So the committee explored a lot of different possibilities. There are in-ground niches, there are structures that can be built for these niches for ashes and things like that. But I think the Joyful Committee's concern was we didn't want it to become an overpowering structure for the garden here, because the garden is basically a meditation garden. Now, I know people have liked to spread their pets' ashes, and people's ashes are out there, various people's ashes are out there. But so we were trying to be mindful of how to maintain the integrity of the garden, but also give a resting place for those in the congregation that wanted something like that. We kind of reached an impasse as far as our committee goes, and didn't really feel like we were being supported. So we just kind of bagged it. We just said, okay, enough. And I think that's probably where, Rusty took off on his own, which he's been known to do. And I've read Rusty's proposal, and certainly it's a viable option, but I think one choice is not a choice. So I think more research needs to be done, more possibilities need to be looked at, and also probably a very hard look at what the finances need to be to achieve something like that. That was just my main concern. So really more exploration and get some actual renderings of what it could look like, because I don't know if you're like me, but I'm not really an internally visual person. If somebody explains something to me, I can kind of get an idea of what that should look like, but certainly if you put a picture in front of me, I got a much better idea, So maybe some of you are like that. So I just think that it'd be beneficial to have a frank discussion on issues like this that affect everybody here, as well as the future of our organization as Unity Bon Air. What else does membership entail for us? It'd be nice to have, be hanging out in my ashes with other people, but I'm more concerned about what I'm doing while I'm here now. I figure the future is going to take care of itself. So where do we go from here? I don't know. Perhaps re-empower the Joyful team, if they're willing, and see what other options are possible, and then come back to the congregation and say, okay, these are some possibilities, But nothing is written in stone at this point, so at least from my understanding. So, we're in the realm of possibility, so we just have to open ourselves to the possibility of what we can achieve.
Is there anyone else that would like to come to the mic on this subject? Well, Regina, okay.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if more people can join the Joyful team, to find out more about this proposal that Rusty, I guess, has undertaken. Because I'd wondered about that when that was first brought up a few years ago. And I'd asked a few people, and I had no idea that there was a group of people working on it. So I'd like to find out more. Thank you.
Henry?
Thank you. My name's Henry Bulifant, and it's saying, well, I saw the proposal, I guess, a few months ago, and sure. How's that? Could you hear me now? I said I saw the proposal a couple of months ago, and it looked very nice. There are some ideas that are good ideas and practical, and there are some ideas that are just good ideas and maybe they're not too practical. It seems as though money for maintenance, repairs, immediate needs, and so the consciousness that's applied towards those problems and issues will find answers to this project that's out in the gardens. Unless it's going to make a significant contribution to the church in a cash flow kind of a way, and I can't imagine Ashes wanting to pay rent Okay, I don't know. I'm not going to discredit the idea. I mean, but if money is more of the immediate problem, then the consciousness towards maybe ideas that would help solve those issues would be better application. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Henry. Anyone else would like to speak? Well, I don't think we have final answers today. As Reverend Patty indicated, there needs to be more of us coming together to have discussions. I think the board is very interested in moving on what the congregation agreed to a few years ago. Maybe the question is, do we need to take another survey? I don't know the answer to that. But I think the board is interested in moving forward in some way and coming to a resolution in a timely manner, because this project has been, Gloria?
I remember when it came up, I was fairly new, and I was excited about it because I thought it would be something similar to what I've seen at other Unity churches. So I didn't know about the maintenance of it, but it's been 2 years, and I think either it needs to move forward or just, and I can't even remember who brought it up in the first place. I don't know if it was Reverend Patty or who brought it up, but I thought it was an excellent way of it was going to be sort of like a fundraiser to earn more, make money. We have the land, so I thought it was a great way to not fundraise, but it would be a way to make money for the church. Anyway.
Well, I think it is clear that some things are unclear. So we have questions to answer. I think the columbarium just happens to be the issue or the project. I think in addition to the project, it is getting people involved and hearing people, not only what their questions are, but what they have to bring to the table. So I don't have a time frame yet, but I know it'll be on this coming meeting in August's agenda to do some planning and figuring out what our next steps are. And I do encourage folks to contact me, let me know of their interests. Any member on the board, really, you can go to and say, hey, put my name on the list, keep me informed, and we're committed. We're committed to doing that the best way possible, to give you all information and to receive information. Okay, all right. Now I would like to call upon the coordinator of our spirit groups, Kathy Brees. She's got some good stuff.
Titles. Okay, I was going to do a progress report on where we stand with spirit groups. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to do a prosperity report. Because when you put it out, answers come, and answers have come in abundance in my working with setting up spirit groups for the fall. First of all, I wanted to tell you the dates one was noted on our agenda, but spirit groups start the week of September 14th. They go for 8 weeks, and so they'll be finishing the week of November 2nd. Sure. You are more than welcome. At this point, we are gathering ideas, topics for people that have ideas for groups. They don't even have to be ideas for groups that you want to lead. They're just ideas that we can work on for interest for the fall. We have several classes in the works. We already have 4 set in stone, or 3 set in stone. We will be doing a walking group in the morning or daytime, hoping to get an evening walking group, but that's in the works. We are going to have our first ever kayaking group, and we're going to have a kirtan group, and the title of it is Heart Song Sing Along. So that is already set in stone. We have 4 groups that are looking. We have a leader, but we want a co-facilitator for those 4 groups. I already thinking about it, and it will come to you at fellowship. I just have a virtual group ready to go on a book study. Thank you, Sarah. And just to let you know, the people that have not been leaders for a spirit group don't feel concerned about not knowing what it means to be a facilitator. There's a training program that Reverend Patty will be running before the spirit groups get started, so you'll feel very comfortable in what your duties are. And what I found as being a facilitator is really you just need to get started that first week, and then everybody else just comes together. It's sort of like what Reverend Patty says as being a senior minister to a whole group of ministers, and that's what spirit group is. We have somebody whose name is on the line, but we're all giving input and being responsible for the group. So it sounds like I'm a facilitator, but no, you're one of the group. And I think that, the other thing that we are needing is that because we're not meeting in the church, we need to find places. And some facilitators are very generous and can host a group in their home, but there are some people who need to find a location. And so if you have a home that you would like to open up or a location that you know would be suitable for a spirit group, let me know about that, because we do have groups that people are willing, they just don't have the space. So that's where we stand. I think we're in really good shape. And I know that in talking to people about the fall, we're looking forward to the winter. So we're also, harvesting ideas for beyond the fall. So if you can't do it this time, fall or winter looks good, let me know, because we're working on all of those levels. All right? Thank you very much.
Anybody have any questions of Kathy? John Rayfield.
I've noticed lately that some of the ceiling in this sanctuary is needing a little attention. And I just was curious to know if that's on the slate for whatever coming up, contractors or painters or whatnot.
Why, yes, it is. It's on Reverend Patty's desk right now. I'm not sure what the plan is yet, but yes. Reverend Patty, do you want to speak some, or is that kind of where we are?
So we're in the figuring out stages right now, and have something planned this week to make to get an idea of what exactly is needed to be done. So it's going to be unfolding. So we're very aware of this also, and one of our favorite rooms. We're going to definitely be taking care of it.
Okay, Sharon, would you like to come and share on your Mahjong group?
Hello, I'm Sharon Germelman. Been here almost 20 years for those of you who are new and don't know me. By request, I'd like to invite you to join us to learn the basics of American Mahjong on the first and second Sundays of each month, starting at 12:30, beginning September 7th. I have a sign-up sheet in my territory, the back left corner of the sanctuary. Mahjong is a rummy-like game that is played with tiles. Please see me after the meeting to sign up or ask questions. My friend Kathy Breese also plays Mahjong, as does Jill. I think Jill already left. Oh, no, Jill's already up there. So any of the three of us can answer general questions about Mahjong. I also teach Mahjong for Chesterfield Parks and Rec. So if the Sunday afternoon doesn't suit your schedule, you can see me. I teach weekday mornings, and lessons are available there, and we'll be beginning again at the beginning of September. Yes, did I? I'm sorry, first and third, because Women of Unity is on the second. And of course, we won't be meeting the day of the Fall Festival and, wherever there's a conflict, but otherwise, first and third Sundays. 12:30 to 2 is the plan. Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Who's on first? We had somebody in the congregation ask for an update on our sunflower, smart flower, I'm sorry. And I've asked Myra to give us an update.
You would think this would be a very easy answer. It is not. For some reason, Dominion Power has consistently had issues with their billing. And we have not received a bill from them since October of last year. So we can't tell whether the smart flower is actually helping to offset the amount or not. Kara, bless her heart, Kara Bickett is our bookkeeper. She has spent hours on the phone with Dominion. And it's not just Unity not getting their bill. If I go online to pay my bill, I'm going to see zero balance. Fortunately, I always get a paper bill, so I know how much I owe. We are making monthly payments based on air usage in past years. As soon as Kara and I are actually meeting, this week, we're reaching out back to Dominion, and if necessary, the State Corporation Commission. As soon as we can get the reports, we can tell each month how much it's helping us out. We've just got to physically get the reports. But as soon as we get them and we've studied them, we'll get back with you and let you know. That's it.
Here's something I want to point out. Closer. Closer. Wow. I'm yelling at myself. I got an electric car, and Dominion gave me 6 months of free service. And maybe that's what they're doing. They're impressed with our smart flower. So that surprises me, but if you want to go electric, they'll help you out.
See. Before we go to the next item, which is Q&A, on the back of your agenda, there's upcoming remainder of 2025 events. Please put this on your refrigerator. You already know you had a little sneak preview today of our summer sizzling sounds on every Thursday night. So, please put that on your refrigerator and participate fully. It's going to be, just a wonderful remainder of the year. And I know Myra will give us the heads up when we start stringing lights for the grand illumination. I would like to open the floor now for general questions, comments. Gretchen?
Okay. Thanks, Claudia. All right, thank you. Hello, everyone. I was just thinking, as far as fundraising, we rent out the church for a wedding. Would it not be possible that there may be some other organizations that would also like to rent space? And it might not have to be a wedding. It could be a conference. It could even be some other music event. I can think of groups like the Virginians that travel around to different churches. They're a barbershop type of music. I just wondered if there might be other opportunities. Thank you.
Those are great ideas. Any other questions?
I was talking to the contractors doing the ceiling. I was talking to the contractor that was doing the ceiling, and he commented, being a civil engineer, I want to point out, alligator cracking is indicate that the asphalt's failing. And it's very hard to seal it if you got alligator cracking because the water will get in. And usually you strip it out, put more stone in, and replace it. That particular entrance is taking so much traffic, especially from heavy trucks and so forth. You might look into it.
So noted. So noted. Claudia?
I'd love to hear just a little about the Fall Festival. If somebody is on that committee, I'm just curious what it's about, what's going to happen.
Okay. Well, I can speak to it. I'm coordinator again this year. Always looking for the next year's. This is formally known as Boo and Stew. We changed it up a little bit to Fall Festival. We're going to have, I know we're going to have Jonathan the Juggler. We're going to have the Unicorn Pony again. Garden team is going to step up for the cakewalk. We have a lot of things that were already from last year we're going to have again. We're going to have also our musicians to play during that period of time. We're going to, I know the YFM is going to create something amazing. And I know other people are having creative thoughts as well. So we're having a little pizza party next Saturday, which will be August the 9th. Would really love for you to come, because this year what I'd like to do with the group is to, we're going to look at some photographs and get you all jazzed up and excited about it, but to actually walk our grounds, walk our promenade here, go out into the garden and see where we can really maximize the Fall Festival feel. We've got some wonderful people that are doing some major marketing for our event. So we're still in the planning stages. We have, I think we'll unfold more. People will come with really creative ideas on that Saturday. Carol Harris is our food guru, supervisor, coordinator. The Men of Unity have stepped up. The Women of Unity, they're going to be making Halloween jewelry for sale. We looked at the idea of inviting vendors, and it got a little bit complicated to do that in the time frame that we have now. So I think each year If we trip back several years ago, Jody Smith, where's Jody? Jody, Cheryl Fair, kind of got us off the ground with Boo and Stu and did some amazing things to build the foundation for what we have today. So it's a group thing. It's all of us working together to bring the magic and the wonder. So, any other questions? Okay. The very next thing I invite us to do is to read our vision statement together, which is at the bottom part of your agenda. Together, UBA is an inclusive spiritual community integrating practical Christianity with all areas of knowledge, where we live and grow together in peace and prosperity. Amen, that's right. I would like to thank everybody today that has made this possible behind the scenes. Deb in the back running the live stream, and Reverend Shari on the sound, and whoever else has contributed, I really appreciate it. The board members have been working together to prepare the meeting today. And again, this is our time as board, minister, and congregation to be together, to share information, and to be updated. I have put on the upcoming events our next Unity and Community meeting, which will be October the 26th, and work the crowd. Bring a friend, bring another congregant, to the meeting. So it is now 1:24. That wasn't too bad. I think some of my board members went, "Oh my God, this agenda will be here until dinner time." But we did a good job. We did a good job. So I am calling this meeting adjourned with one more, if Reverend Patty would pray us out.
Okay, so I invite you to look at the person sitting close to you and say, "I behold the Christ in you.
I behold the Christ in you.
I see the light of joy and love beaming from you.
I see the light of love and joy beaming from you."
We're going to go have an amazing week, and we're going to keep the love flowing, and so it is.
All right.